My name is Olsson. I work at Uppsala University in Sweden as a research engineer. We do research on neutrons to, for example, study particles in liquids, water purification and such. At some point we started to 3D print, for example, complicated sample holders and other things that would be difficult to machine in other ways. So to protect people and equipment from neutrons, you use typically boron carbide. Boron carbide is the best option for absorbing neutrons. The problem with this boron carbide plastic is that it wears tools, it's extremely difficult to machine. As long as you want a big chunk of it, it's fine. If you want small pieces, for example, to go around your sample, you often end up using toxic materials like cadmium, which is not really what we want to do. So therefore we thought, why can't we print boron carbide plastic? I bought a field extruder kit, an extruder basically, and I managed to make some plastic pellets out of boron carbide and a printable plastic, which I could then extrude into a filament. And I fed it one into the Ultimaker, kind of not knowing what was going to happen. It printed well. It printed really nice, and I got this boron carbide, small, tiny, neat things out of boron carbide that no one could make before. The only issue was that after just a few hours, the nozzle of the printer was completely gone. It wasn't really reasonable to change the whole heater block that often, so I had to come up with some solution for that. So I designed something to take simple nozzles which I could easily change, and the workshop here manufactured the prototype. I posted in the Ultimaker forum, and there was quite a big interest for this, and people were quite curious about it. I didn't have a name for it at that point, but the community concluded it was supposed to be called the Olsson Block after the inventor, which is fine by me. With the Olsson Block, you can change nozzle in seconds. Before, you had to take apart the printer and replace the whole heater block. When you can change the nozzle, you can also use smaller nozzles to print finer details than you could before, or larger nozzles to print larger objects much faster than you could before. I never expected this Olsson Block to become that big product. That wasn't really at all in my mind, but for me it makes the printer more versatile. I can do things that I couldn't do before. I hope that other people feel that way.